A vision only truly sticks when we feel it rather than think about it. Once we activate all of our senses, our brain starts treating the vision like a memory rather than just an idea. I'm Suzanne Rath, and this is Endures, for your daily dose of endurance, leadership, and life lessons. So picture this. It's December 2025. We're 25 meters underwater, 29 degrees, and we're surrounded by fish, more fish than I've ever seen in my entire life. Massive bait balls of tiny fish that attract whale sharks normally. Fish eating coral below us, giant trevally, colourful fish, little critters, mantis shrimps, massive eels swimming around. And normally, when you swim up to one of these schools of fish, they tend to disperse, or you observe them from close by, you take some GoPro imagery and you sort of look back on it later and you remember it and it's amazing, but you're not really part of it. And we're here at Richelieu Rock in Thailand, one of the world's top 10 dive sites, depending on what you read. And all of a sudden, this absolute freight train of fish just swims past me. And I join the train. And so there's fish above me, there's fish to either side of me, there's fish below me, and none of them are dispersing. They're all off on their little train trip to who knows where. I'm barely kicking, we're moving with the current, we're snaking around bommies and rocks. There is the biggest flute fish, like these long, pipey kind of fish. There's trevally, there's rainbow runners. There is just so many fish all off on their little journey, and I'm part of it. And all of a sudden, I'm not looking at the fish or like looking at the ocean as this observer. I'm a part of it and I forget where I am. And when I look back on that trip, that is the major thing that stands out. And this week, when I was doing a writing workshop, that's one of the top moments that I came out with. So this is an example of a peak moment. And we know that a life that's well lived will create these kind of moments that we look back on with nostalgia. And how do we apply this to setting a vision? Particularly as we think about my Endures framework, envisioning is the core of everything. Having that beacon in your business, in your life, in your leadership, that is the compass, that's the lighthouse, that's what you have to get to, and that's how you delete all the rubbish around it and choose what's really important to work towards. And so to set a vision, if we can think about these peak moments that we've already had and think about how we want to feel and how we activate all of our 5 senses, what it does is it tricks our brain into thinking that we are already there. And so then the attention network of our brain kicks in and it's much easier for us to achieve the thing. It becomes front and center. It's like marked clearly in the filing cabinet as important. And so when we got back from Thailand, with all of this fresh in my memory, rather than having it as like a someday thing or getting straight back into the grind, this is the power of this ability to reflect on where we've been and where we've come from. I'm like looking at other amazing dive spots, and I've discovered this place in Colombia, and you know what? That's just going to go into the calendar like a rock. Yes, we can't dive every day of the week, like all good things in life. I feel like these things are great as little rocks in your year, things to look forward to, but also these moments of nostalgia that we look back on and feel like we've lived a good life. So now the next trips will go in the calendar as absolute non-negotiables, not things that we wait, till it's the right time, or we wait till things settle down at work, or we wait till someone grows up, but things that we just make happen. Because here's what I know to be true. Life is short. If you're over 40, like I am, you may have less than 2,000 Sundays left. And I, for one, would certainly like to be able to look back at these moments where I've activated all of the senses. And so today, or whenever you listen to this, I invite you to think about your vision and your peak moments and how you'll activate all of your senses in thinking about what really matters to you so that you can achieve, those peaks in life. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you tomorrow for more from Endures.